Be a strong woman. Stop self-sabotage. Find your inner voice and begin to experience mindfully the life you deserve. Written by Julia Arias. Narrated by Alaura Howery. Introduction. Not everyone in the world works at becoming stronger. Some people research what they want to do and make it happen in certain ways, only to find that they end up right back where they started instead of climbing up to the next peak of the mountain range. Women have had an especially long battle in our history, climbing as high as they possibly could, only to feel shoved back down again when they made it to within inches of crossing a finish line. It was never just women who have struggled to find enough inside in order to bring the internal riches of the self into the foreground, promoting an empowered life. All people have struggled to find their voice, their intuition, their personal power. What is it about modern culture that prevents us from developing the strength we need to be our truest selves? I asked myself this question for several years while doing my own research into the matter. I wanted to find out about all of the ways that we are positively and negatively influencing each other and ourselves to live as powerful individuals. So much of what I learned came from some very obvious subjects, and all of the ways that we sabotage ourselves come from a lack of good mental programming. Adult-onset fear and stress caused by childhood problems and challenges, perpetuating self-beliefs that are toxic to the heart and soul, attitudes and behaviors of an imbalanced self, and most commonly, looking outside of yourself for answers. Through my research, I have found that so many individuals are making a comparison about who they are, how they look, what they think, how their life looks, versus everyone else, or even specific people that they aspire to be like. For women, this has become an especially daunting downward spiral, not only because of women's history, but also because of an era in which a great need for change is occurring. As I type this, we are dealing with a time in which a woman's voice is significantly more heard and respected, celebrated, and congratulated. And yet women are still hurting their own identities to be like someone or something that they are not, just to fit into some concept of beauty or success that makes them feel like an outcast or a failure if they don't achieve the same reality. Women are shown in a variety of ways, such as through advertisement and the entertainment and fashion industries, that if they don't appear a certain way, then they are not considered beautiful. But the real harm comes from trying to force another woman's looks and identity onto your own, so that you can look like someone else instead of yourself. Women are still struggling to compete with men in the workforce, and they are also competing heavily with other women in order to stand out from the crowd. Here is the truth. Every woman has a completely unique voice and identity. Every woman has a purpose that is important to everything and everyone, and when I look back at all of my notes and research to write this book, the one thing that keeps coming back up is that women are strong. Women have so much strength to fight for their truth and their power. The one thing that gets in the way of being a strong woman is self-sabotage. Self-sabotage appears in many forms, and in this book, I have outlined some of the most important mistakes a woman can make to avoid growing into her strength. I have suggested several different ways to help you release old and outworn paradigms and beliefs, and how to truly heal the relationship you have with yourself so that you can live fully empowered, speaking your truth, and mindfully knowing how strong you are. Be a strong woman, stop self-sabotage, find your inner voice, and begin to experience mindfully the life you deserve, is my gift to you. I wrote this book as a personal quest to use my own inner strength and power to help other women like me find the true source of their beauty and how to let go of old cycles and beliefs that you need to try and be someone that you're not. This book contains so much rich information, inspiration from other successful and empowered women, chapters about understanding the cause of your self-sabotage, ways to rekindle your love with yourself, and how to become stronger so that you can live the life that you deserve. This book is a guide to help you feel stronger, more empowered, and more capable of changing the way you think about yourself through a series of helpful tips, hints, steps, and guidelines. It is a tool to get you started on a path of total healing and pulling yourself out of any thoughts, ideas, beliefs, patterns, and habits that keep away from expressing your true self and your purpose. All you need is to understand what it means to be a powerful woman by learning what strong women don't do in order to live as their true selves. It can be just as helpful to hear the truth about what you are already doing now that you need to change in order to fight for the life you deserve. All you need is an open mind, an urge to become empowered, and the time it takes to put all of these tools and methods into practice. Changing the way you work with yourself and how you explore your mind and emotions is only the beginning of finding your voice and becoming empowered. Follow me on this powerful journey to help you realize you
Sample complete. Ready to continue?